Deep in the forests of North America, where moss blankets the trees like old secrets and the wind murmurs through branches like forgotten voices, there's a name whispered by hikers, hunters, and those who never quite returned the same: Bigfoot. He is more shadow than man, more myth than beast. Towering over 7 feet tall, his massive frame cloaked in matted dark hair that blends perfectly with the tree bark and the gloom of dusk, Bigfoot is said to walk upright, calm, deliberate, almost human. His eyes, according to those who claim to have seen him, are dark and knowing, but not without something ancient staring back, something that doesn't belong in the modern world. In the Pacific Northwest, where fog coils between the redwoods and rain taps the earth like a slow heartbeat, his legend has endured for generations. Locals call him Sasquatch. Others call him the Wild One, the Shadow of the Pines, the Last Walker. But no matter the name, the feeling is the same, an unsettling sense that something else is out there, something that watches. The first signs are subtle, but unmistakable. Footprints, enormous, deep, perfectly shaped, found miles from any trail or road, far too large to be human, far too precise to be bear. Sometimes the tracks appear overnight, winding through valleys and vanishing into ravines. Some say they've followed them, only to have them stop, in the middle of nowhere, as if the creature had simply vanished into the mist. Then come the sounds, a deep, guttural cry that shakes through the pines. Not quite a roar, not quite a scream, something in between, low, lonely, and filled with something close to grief. Recordings exist, but none capture the full weight of it. The sound doesn't just reach your ears, it settles in your bones. Campers have returned to their sites to find strange disturbances. Gear shifted, food untouched but unwrapped, tents left exactly as they were, except for one detail: footprints circling around them, always circling, as if something had spent the night watching just outside the light of the fire. No one has ever seen him clearly. Cameras malfunction, videos blur, and those who dare speak of their encounters often do so in hushed tones, as if saying too much might call him back. Some believe he is a remnant from another time, a prehistoric being that escaped extinction by slipping deeper into the forests we've long since stopped exploring. Others think he's something more than physical, a guardian, a warning, a boundary between our world and the wild one. And some, those who have seen more than they care to admit, swear he is not alone, that there are others, a hidden family, a quiet tribe moving through the wilderness where no map dares to lead. But whether he walks alone or among many, one truth remains. For every skeptic who steps into those woods, there is someone who returns changed, haunted by a silhouette behind the trees and a footprint far too big to forget. So if you ever find yourself deep beneath the canopy, far from city lights and far from help, listen carefully. When the breeze dies and the forest goes still, when even the birds fall silent, hold your breath, because there are nights in the southern lands of the Americas, nights when the air hangs heavy with heat and the stars shimmer like distant fires, when the wind carries more than just the rustle of leaves. It carries a voice, a sorrowful, chilling cry that seeps into the silence, a cry that whispers the heartbreaking words, "Mis hijos, my children." She is known as La Llorona, the Weeping Woman. Long ago, beside a river that winds through the hills like a silver serpent, there lived a woman of great beauty. Her laughter once filled the valleys, and her children were her world. But fate is cruel. Some say a cruel betrayal shattered her heart. Others say a jealous rage twisted her soul. Whatever the cause, one tragic night, driven by grief or madness, she walked silently to the river's edge. The cold water swallowed her cries as the moon bore witness. And when dawn broke, only silence answered where her children should have been. From that day forward, she was never the same. They say she lost her mind to sorrow, condemned to wander forever, her spirit trapped between earth and water, unable to find peace. Now, in the thick darkness of the night, you might glimpse her, a figure draped in white, her face veiled in black sorrow, drifting like a shadow along the riverbanks. Her cries echo through the trees, haunting and desperate, "Mis hijos, mis hijos." Her voice twists and turns with the wind, sometimes so close you can almost reach out and touch the cold sadness that surrounds her. Those who hear her say the world changes around them. The air grows icy, even on the hottest nights. The fireflies dim, and even the frogs stop their songs. It's as if the very earth holds its breath to listen. Parents tell their children to stay far from the river once the sun dips below the horizon. If you hear her crying, do not answer. If you see her shadow, do not follow. Turn away and never look back, they warn softly. Many dismiss La Llorona as a tale, a ghost story meant to keep kids safe from danger. But those who have walked the river's edge at midnight tell a different story. They speak of eerie silence, sudden chills, and a sorrowful wail that fades into the darkness, proof that she's still out there, lost and searching. So next time you find yourself near a quiet stream or hear a haunting cry carried by the wind on a lonely night, remember this: La Llorona is still weeping, still searching for her lost children, and perhaps she's closer than you think. It was supposed to be just another ordinary night, quiet, peaceful, maybe even a little romantic. A young couple decided to escape the city's noise, parking their car on a lonely stretch of road that faded into the darkness just beyond the last flickering streetlight. The night air was cool and still, and the forest around them seemed to hold its breath. But then, that stillness was broken. The radio crackled sharply, cutting through the soft music playing inside the car. A breaking news bulletin came on, urgent and grim. A dangerous man had escaped from the nearby mental facility. He was reported to be armed, but what sent chills down their spines was the detail that made him infamous. Instead of a right hand, he wielded a large, rusted hook. The girl's smile faded. She instinctively reached to lock the car doors. The boy tried to lighten the mood with a nervous laugh, but even he couldn't keep the tension out of his eyes as he stole uneasy glances in the rearview mirror. Then, from somewhere just beyond the edge of the headlights, a sound, faint but unmistakable, reached their ears. A scrape, then a tapping, slow and deliberate. Not the wind, not an animal. Something else. Something too close for comfort. Panic clenched their chests. The boy started the engine with a shaky hand. The tires screeched against the gravel, and the car lurched forward. Behind them, the dense forest swallowed the night once more, but the feeling of being watched never left. Breathless, hearts racing, they finally reached the safety of home. Stepping out of the car, they tried to shake off the fear, joking nervously about their wild imaginations. But then, something caught their eye. Hanging from the passenger side door handle, gleaming faintly in the porch light, was a single, rusted hook. The metal twisted and worn, a grim reminder that they were not alone, that he had been there, that he had come too close. The Hook Man. A name whispered for decades around campfires and in hushed conversations. Some say he was once a man broken by the world, cast aside and left to fester in anger. Others believe he's just a story, a cautionary tale crafted to keep young lovers from dangerous places at night. But no matter the version, every tale ends the same way, with a warning too late to heed and a hook left hanging where it should never be. So, if you ever find yourself parked on a deserted road, far from the hum of civilization, and the night suddenly falls too silent, remember to lock your doors tight.